Hello, everyone. Okay, so I've got a few minutes to just jump on real quick. I wanted to address a reel that I created with Dr. Boyce Watkins. It was using a clip from one of his latest YouTube videos. And if you're interested in looking at the entire video, it is him talking about why he is not going to see Wakanda forever. So he says in that video that he is not going to be in attendance in the new Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever. And he goes into quite at length. He goes into why that is, why he will not be supporting that. He won't be going to see it. And then he addressed some other things that I thought were really great clips. So I pulled a couple of clips from watching his video, and I created a reel from one of them. And it was all about the idea that entertainment, like our music and our movies and our television shows and the things we think are just entertainment, right? We think, oh, what's the big deal? Why are you flipping out about these shows or these movies or the music especially, and what these people are doing in their music, what they're singing about, talking about, what they're wearing or not wearing, what they're doing on these award show stages, right? Everyone keeps saying, oh, it's just entertainment. I don't know why people are getting all riled up. It's just entertainment. What's the big deal? And one of the things we know for sure, especially recently in the last 10, 15 years, is, and a lot of people are not going to believe this, but now that things are in the situation that they're in, with everything that's going on with this gender war that we're in, with the birth rate going down, the marriage rate going down, people are not in, happy, healthy relationships. People are struggling to even date. And with the advent of dating apps and just everything that's going on. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And my answer to that is we have to do better. We have to do better. We have to educate ourselves. I believe educating ourselves is really important. I believe that we have to see entertainment as, especially the kind of entertainment that we're consuming, as it is more than that. They call television programming for a reason. That's why it's called programming, because that's exactly what it's doing. You are sitting down and you're watching certain shows, or you're watching certain movies, and you're listening to certain music over and over and over and over. And what you don't realize is those things are getting deep down into your subconscious. And this is especially for people who watch television before going to bed. This is especially for you. I am talking to you if you're one of those people that has a television in your bedroom and you are falling asleep watching television. So I'm going to give you a little tiny bit of education on this, and then I'm going to wrap this up. So there are different brain wave states that your brain is in, depending on if you're awake, the 15 to 20 minutes before you go to sleep, and then once you're asleep, the different REM levels of sleep. Those brainwave states are also congruent to how old you are, right? So when you are younger, so from 0 to 7, you're in what's called a theta brain state. That means you're basically a tape recorder. You are recording everything around you. You are recording words and feelings and thoughts and sounds and pictures. You're recording energy, right? Even vibrational energy. So even though as a baby you couldn't speak, you couldn't communicate with words, you still could determine if mom was angry or if mom was crying or if mom was sad. You could still feel that energy. You could feel those emotions. Even though you didn't have words to express what that was, you could still feel it. And so for all of my folks who watch television or they fall asleep to the television, every night, you are letting what's coming out of the television into your theta brain state. So it is programming your subconscious mind, because that's when, as an adult, your mind is most susceptible. So the 15 to 20 minutes it takes you to fall asleep, and then the 15 to 20 minutes before you wake up, you are in a state of theta brain wave. Okay? And so, yeah, the music that you're listening to over and over and over, the lyrics that you're listening to, the entertainment that you're watching, the shows that you're watching over and over and over, that stuff is getting into you. And there are lots of entertainment, lots of movies and music and, everything that's going on. There's lots of stuff that is low vibrational. It is meant to keep you stuck. It is meant to make you depressed. It is meant to make you feel anxious. And yet we're listening to this, we're watching it over and over and over, and we wonder why. We have an epidemic of, depressive medication use or anxiety medication use. There's a recent study that just came out about 5 or 6 days ago, and I'm actually going to get more information about this study because, like I said, when things like this cross my desk, I need time to really educate myself on it. I want to make sure that I'm citing the right sources. I'm looking into this. I want to give informed opinion. And the basis of this study that just came out not too long ago is that chemical imbalance is not the cause of depression. So this is like mind-blowing, especially to someone of my profession, right? Because that is one of the reasons why we were told that people are suffering from depression or have anxiety symptoms is there's a chemical imbalance in the brain. And now we're finding out that isn't true. That has not been proven by research. So very controversial stuff that we're learning in the last week. And like I said, I'm going to do more research and more study on it. And I will speak more about it because I believe, and I've always believed this, that most of us that are on antidepressants, most of us that are on anti-anxiety medicine should not be. We should not be on this medicine. And most of us, we're not happy, right? Can I be honest? A lot of us are just not happy. We're not happy. We don't have joy. We don't have contentment. Most of the time, we just don't feel good, right? That's a lot of us. We don't feel good. However, the medication that we're taking, a lot of people, a lot of modern day women are taking, is not the answer. As a matter of fact, it will cause more problems than it solves. And so I'm going to continue to do research on this because it's kind of confirming something I've known for a long, long time, but I don't speak about. I don't speak about this because it's very controversial, especially in the mental health space, especially in the community that I'm in. But it's almost like we are under, it's like this group consciousness, right? Where this group consciousness, and this is something that I've learned years and years ago. It's one of the reasons why when we have a police shooting, so we have a police shooting of a young black man, and that will be an isolated incident, but because everyone learns about it, everyone jumps on the bandwagon, everyone starts giving their thoughts and their energies and their feelings and their emotions and their opinions about it. Guess what happens? Then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, these incidences, have you noticed that? That once we have one officer shooting, one police shooting, and people find out about that, then it's like a domino effect. We have another and another and another and another. And that is what group consciousness is. We are finding out about this incident, and all of us, so everyone that finds out about this incident, everyone that's in an uproar, everyone that feels a way about it, we're adding to that energy. We're adding to that energy, and that energy is growing. And so it is causing more of the thing that we're upset about. It's causing more of the thing that everyone is up in arms about. And we're starting to see more and more and more of these incidences. That's what group consciousness is. I believe depression and anxiety is something similar. Everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. Everyone is anxious. Everyone is depressed. Everyone is talking about how bad they feel and how, there's all these videos. I even noticed it on my feed. I had to go in and start searching for new things on my feed because I was getting all of these TikToks and videos, all of this stuff about what does anxiety look like? What does depression look like? And anxiety can look like this and panic can look like that was flooding my feed. And I was like, no, I don't want any parts of this. I feel great. I don't want any parts of that. I don't want to add to that narrative. I don't want to become a part of that group consciousness because I feel great. And let me say this, there will be times where we won't feel over the moon happy. There will be times where, maybe there's no inner joy or there's no happiness or maybe something's happened. And I'll give you this to consider. That's okay. That's okay. Every day we won't feel over the moon joy. We won't feel happiness all the time. That's a part of the human existence. That there will be great days and great moments and great things that happen. There will be average days and average moments and nothing's really happening. There will be bad days and bad moments and bad things that will happen. That's all a part of being a human being and having an earth suit, having a physical body. And so we're in this collective or group consciousness where, it's like a domino effect. One person, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I feel bad about this or that. And then the next person and the next person. And it's just this great, big, huge domino effect. Instead of one person saying, yeah, something bad happened today or something, that made me sad or made me angry happened today. But, I know that's part of the human experience. I know that I'm allowed to feel like that. I always tell people this is not to gaslight you out of how you're feeling. You're allowed to feel how you feel. You're allowed to feel down. You're allowed to feel angry. You're allowed to feel sad. There are no bad emotions. However, I also give this to people to consider that life is cyclical, right? It's like a circle. It's going around and around and you're up and you're down and you're up and you're down. And that's how it's going to be until you die. Life is cyclical. And when you're up, I often encourage clients to lean into that up. When I wake up and I'm having an amazing day, I'm firing on all pistons, things are going great in my life. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Okay, she says the video stopped for a minute, so I don't know what the connection to the Wakanda video was. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. So when you're up, I want you to lean in. I want you to just really feel good. Don't resist that. So many people resist that. They're like, oh, I'm feeling so good. Oh, I can't, the next shoe is about to drop. The shoe is about to drop. And so they resist really leaning into feeling good. And because they're in that constant state of waiting for the other shoe to drop, when they go back down, they're like, oh man, and now I don't feel great. Life sucks. And, I got fired or this or that or whatever. And it feels like that down state is longer. So I often tell people, you're going to have good days, and I want you to lean into those good days. I want you to really feel good about those good days. Don't be trepidatious about, oh, this is a really good day and I should be worried. Don't feel that way. Seriously, lean into, I am having a really great day. I'm having a great day. Things are, going great. I've had some really great things happen to me. Oh, I just feel so wonderful. Because when you come down, what I want you to do is own how you feel in that moment. You're allowed to say, this sucks. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm confused. I'm annoyed or whatever the feeling is. But then I also want you to say, and it's temporary. And it's temporary. It's not going to stay that way forever. It's temporary. Okay? Up. Feel really good. Lean in. Down. Ooh, this sucks. Own how you feel, but I want you to say it's temporary. Then you're going to go back up. Then you're going to come back down. And there are times where I'm pretty up for a long period of time. Nothing crazy is happening for a long period of time. I'm feeling great. But when I start to feel myself going down, I'm like, okay, it sucks. Something crazy happened. Something I didn't expect happened. But it's temporary. And I'm going to feel good again. I'm going to feel good again. And learning how to cope Learning how to cope with the ups and downs of life, I think, is really important. It's one of the things that I do in my practice. I teach people how to cope with life, because some of this is as simple as you have to cope. You have to learn how to cope with the fact that it's not always going to feel amazing. I'm not always going to feel great all the time. And that's okay. That's totally okay. That is a huge part of being a human being, okay? So we're going back to Dr. Boyce Watkins. We're going back to the programming, the television programming, the music programming. We're going back to why he gave his explanation as to why he wasn't going to see Wakanda Forever. So, spoiler alert, he says that based on the trailer that he saw, that it looks like Wakanda Forever is about the women. So it's going to focus more on the women in Wakanda. It's going to tell the stories of the women in Wakanda, and that there isn't going to be a strong male presence. And so he's like, I'm all for, women's empowerment. I'm all for that. However, like, I don't want to, I just don't, I don't want us to fuel that narrative. And then before we know it, we're far along down that path of, again, strong black woman and women can do it all. They don't need men. He's like, nope, I don't want to support that narrative. I'm all for women being great and doing what they're doing, but I don't want to support that narrative. And we will see. I saw the trailer. I know we all know that Chadwick Boseman will not be in the second one. We all know that. I'm just curious to know, though, will there be any other men in the second one? And I think the other gentleman, I can't remember his name, they said he's not going to be in it either. So that's why people are assuming that they're going this route, that it's basically going to focus on all the women of Wakanda. That's what the story is going to be, that all the women of Wakanda, they're going to focus more on that. They're going to focus more on their stories. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm waiting like everyone else until November to find out what's going to happen. But back to my clip. So one of the things that Dr. Boyce said was that, we have this narrative based on the music and the movies and the television shows in our community, and that it's all about projecting this image, right, of the pimp, of the rapper. And you gotta, be high, you gotta be drunk, you gotta have your pants sagging, you gotta, speak a certain way, you have to listen to rap music, you have to, just all these very negative stereotypical images. And he's like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the music. I'm tired of the over hypersexualized black woman. I'm tired of, the guys, that are talking, they're rapping about stuff that's just nothing about it it's very low vibrational. It's very low energy. And he was just saying that, yeah, I could see why we're in the state that we're in. He talked about a Little Durk song. Now, I don't listen to any of this music, but he said, yeah, I was listening to this Little Durk song, and it was like 3.5 minutes of who he was going to kill, what he was going to smoke, who he was going to screw. Like that was the whole song, just talking about things that are just very low energy. And that gets into you. That's what people don't realize. That gets into you. If you have not done so yet, I want you to go to YouTube and put in Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. You can listen to that book on YouTube. You can also order a copy of it or go to the library. It's called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And you can read that book. And that book was written, I want to say in 1910 or 1920, way back. And it talked all about everything that's happening today. Everything that's happening today, that book has prophesied. It's talked about it. And how most people, right, 97 to 99% of people are sheep. They're just going along to get along. They're consumers, not producers. They're all being like sheeps to the slaughter. They're all being taught a certain thing or a certain way it's just not beneficial to them at all. And like I said, it's really, really sad, but now as I get older, I can see it so clear. I can see it so clear, everything that's happening. And it's making me sad that this is where we've ended up. It really, really is. And just where we are in terms of how men and women treat each other, talk about each other, how they engage with each other. It's just, I never thought that it would get to this point. But we are in a really sad state, and we need a collective consciousness to turn this around. So not going in the same direction that we're in, we actually want to use collective consciousness for good. We need to get a movement going. That's actually why I named my platform what I did. I named it Better Love Movement because we need a better love movement. We need enough people, and I'm not talking about 5 or 10 or 20 or even the 7,400 and some followers that I have. I'm talking about tens of thousands of people that want to see things be better, want to see things be different. And my platform is all about taking some of the old and mixing it with some of the new, right? I am very traditional by nature. Everyone knows that. I believe that there was a lot of good in my day and the days before me. And there was some not so good, right? So I am open to what's new. I am open to an evolution of men and women. I am open to men evolving to a healthy place where they're able to verbalize how they feel and what they think. That they are also remaining masculine, that they are also maintaining masculine frame. I think it's great that a man be very physical in nature, that he know how to change a flat tire, that he know how to fight, that he know how to fix things. Like, I think men's bodies are created to be physical. But I also think a man can be well read. I also think a man can learn and grow and explore ideas. I also think a man can be aggressive and a man can be tender. You can put an AK-47 in one hand and an infant in the other. Like, that's where I want to see us go. And then for women, while I think some of the greatest minds of our time are women, we are doing amazing things. However, I do not want to see women abandon their feminine power. I don't want to see them not have children and not nurture something, because I believe that is deeply in the DNA of every woman. So I simply want to marry some of what worked in the past and what I know works in the present. That's what my platform is all about. But there are people out here, modern day people, that they're solely focused on now. They're solely focused on, reinventing the wheel when there are so many wonderful things from 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. And we should not abandon those things. We should not throw those things away. Those things are great. We should bring them forward. There's a reason why they've lasted this long, because they work. And we can bring those things forward, and then we can talk about some new things that might also work too. It's the blending together of all of this that I am I'm a big proponent of. I always have been, right? So I have done that in my own life. I have taken some modern day things, but I've also taken some things my grandmother and my great grandmother have given me, and I'm still staying true to those things. Those things work. Those things work. And I blend all of that together, and that's how we have an evolved feminine woman. That's how we're going to have an evolved masculine man. But the modern day man, he is not masculine. He is lazy. He is slovenly. He has no purpose or no passion. He's not physical. He's anxious. He's depressed. He's overweight. He has relegated his sexuality to pornography and masturbation. Like, I don't think any of that's good. I don't. There are more involuntary celibate men today than ever was. Like, there are a lot of men out here that most women don't want. And that's a problem. That's a problem in my mind. That's a problem that we need a solution for. And then there are women out here that they have completely abandoned their virtue. They have completely abandoned their femininity. And they have picked up this, oh, well, if men can do it, we can do it. And no man is going to police my body. Then you police your body. No man should have to police your body. But I'm gonna give this to you to consider. But if you're out here and you're on a fast track to nowhere, if you're laying down with every man that says hello, you need to police your body. A man, you're right. A man shouldn't be policing your body. You should be policing your body. And women out here, they're all up in arms about Roe versus Wade. Then use protection. Do what you need to do, so that's a decision you never have to make. You ever thought about that? Like prevention. I've always been team prevention. Do what you need to do so you don't have to make that decision. So nobody has to police your body. You police your body. If people would take more personal responsibility, half of the problems we have in this society we wouldn't have. But the truth is, we're not. We're not doing our part. That's why other people feel the need to step in. Because they're like, well, dang, if we just let people do what they want to do, we're all going, where are we going to end up? So we need to do a better job of policing our own bodies, in my opinion. So take good care of yourself, your virtue. It means something. It means something to say, no, I'm not for everybody. And I don't need to lay down with everybody. I don't get my worth and value from getting attention online by showing up half naked or twerking around or, no. No. That doesn't complete me. That doesn't mean I'm somebody because I have 50 million likes on, no. No, we have to find that inside. Dare I say it, we should find it in God. So we got to do better. We have to do better. And if you want to do better, if you want to be a part of this, please, feel free. Feel free to share your input with me. Feel free to DM me. Feel free to, take up this yourself. Put this on your own page. Take up some of this because we need more people that are willing to do that. We really, really do. We're not going in a good direction. And entertainment is not just entertainment. If it's of a low vibrational state, it's going to bring you right down. It's not going to make you feel good or better about yourself. It's not going to make you feel like producing anything or being creative. Quite the opposite. Hello. Okay, so that clip, people are commenting on that clip. But we need to do better. We need to do better and not just talk about doing better, we need to actively do better. We need to take the time to heal. Some of us need to stop in our tracks and stop, we keep going. And that's, again, where all this depression and anxiety is going. We're not stopping. We're not stopping and taking stock of ourselves, our life. We just keep going. We keep going. But take some time. Take some time off of, dating. Take some time off of going out and drinking with your friends and, whatever you're doing. Take some time. Take some time away from your video games. Take some time away from the porn. Take some time away. Take some time away. And recenter yourself. Reconnect yourself. Yeah. She says, I used to look for love, but loving and looking after myself feels so much better. They need to teach this stuff in school. They do. They do. I think it is so horrific that 90% of the things that people need to be productive human beings, they don't teach in middle school or high school or college. I think that's horrific. We have failed our children. We have failed our young people because we're not giving them anything that they really need to be productive. So I don't get it. I honestly do not get it. I don't get it. So hello. All right, y'all. I don't know what's going on with my internet at home. I've been trying to work with it, tweak it. But I'm done. I'm done. thank you so much for joining me on this message. If you have not picked up a copy of both of my latest books, so if you are single, it is called Choose Well, A Simple Formula to Determine the Best Man for You. Or if you have not picked up my book for ladies in relationships, it's called Do Well, A Feminine Woman's Guide to Relationship Success. You can do that over on Amazon. I am still working on getting the audio version. I have so much on my plate right now. This summer has been jam-packed, but I'm hoping in the next month to have the audio version of both of my books up. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, stay open to love.